Welcome back to another Vega 23 episode, my friends. Today we're going to be working on the Maverick. We're going to be swapping a couple of parts. Yesterday I was at Napa looking for the fuel pump. They didn't have it, and it wasn't like a special order either. So looked online, they had it at AutoZone. So that will be coming in next Friday. But it's okay because we're still waiting for some parts that are going to be going on the fuel tank. So it's okay, not a big deal. We did, however, get the housing for the thermostat, which we'll be replacing today. We also got the thermostat itself. We got some gasket maker that's gonna go around that. This is the fuel pump, the original one. We found the same exact one at AutoZone. That one's coming in Friday. Behind us here we have the radiator, which we'll also be working on today. We have the replacement hoses. Those are the ones that I took out. My dad's friend is gonna come and do a rebuild on the carburetor, so we have that ready for him. I do also have the filter that goes in the radiator, and then just another one for safety precautions. The lock for the tank came in. You guys already knew that, but I just didn't have it here at the shop. And we will also be working on replacing the fuel pump itself, swapping out the water pump. We have that here. The hoses for the Mostis. We have all the clamps that we need, and we're basically ready to get started. So let's go ahead and assess the situation and get going with replacing at least most of the parts that we already have here in the house. All right, we got the canopy for some shade. We have the swamp cooler going. The pad is already, well, it's almost all wet, so we should be nice and cool. Today we have a high of 108 here, so that's gonna help a lot. Obviously the radiator is not gonna be the hardest thing to take out, but that's where we're gonna start. We have 4 bolts, 2 on each side. That's basically going to be able to give us a lot of room to be able to take out the fan, and that's going to give us access to the water pump, which is back there, and it's also going to give us more access to the thermostat housing. And we're going to have to take out the belts to also give us more room on that. The fuel pump goes back there, but it's not here yet, so we're not going to worry about it right now. The hoses are just going to connect from here to there, and then from the bottom to the water pump. It doesn't seem to be crazy what I'm doing, but I'm going to get my hands dirty here pretty soon so I can get going. I don't want to be here all day. I also have a 4-color process that I want to set up at the shop here, and I'll show you at the end of the video what it looks like if I get to it. I'm excited for that one because in this situation where I'm printing, I went with the halftones, slightly bigger than we're used to. So I'm excited to see that. We normally go with whatever the standard is, and this time we exaggerated the halftones to make them bigger. And I think it's gonna work out better since we're gonna be able to wash every single dot out. And I want you guys to see what that looks like. Está acostadita y da chance de que... Ahí va. Nasty. Y ese lo botamos con el desarmador. Mira, Santa, aquí. ¿Saldrá?
¿Ya no hay?
Ya, pues parece que ya. Que yo sé, paran 3. ¿Se pegan?
Sí.
¿Trae un martillo?
¿Salí?
A ver. Nasty, Chante.
Mira, mira.
No manches. Damn. Se deshizo. Oye, yo no había visto algo tan nasty.
Mira.
God damn. Pues la jodida. A ver, vamos a enseñarles aquí cómo está el show este. Juela. Ahí nomás para que vayan y digan. Ya tenemos aquí desarmado medio motor. ¿Me da, Chonte? Son of a biscuit. Tal, lo vamos a revivir al Maverick. Se preocupen. ¿Qué hay ahí adentro, Chonte? Nasty. ¿Y le meto la manguera ahí o qué?
¿Estaría bien?
¿Sí? A ver, déjate la paso, pues.
Por un lado, vale por el otro.
Déjate la paso. Brother. Ten, agárrala. Le doy todo. Pero sí sale fuerte. ¿Está vomitando?
Sí, no, esto está viendo ahí.
Ve nomás. She's nasty, boy. Ahí, güey. A ver, quiero ver la cascada esta de las Niágaras. Ve nomás. Ahí no se le ocupa echar ningún líquido ni nada, así nomás. O digo yo para limpiarlo. ¿No?
No, sale bien, mira cómo sale.
Sí, está saliendo limpia. ¿Le pago?
Pero el chorro, digo yo.
Oh, el chorro sí. ¿Sí le pago? Wowzers, trousers, catausers. ¿Estuvo buena la bañadita esa entonces?
Circula bien, algo más así.
Sí.
Es que todo se acumula ahí, pues.
No, pero estaba de más. Esto, mira, está... Vamos a compararlo aquí para que vea la gente cómo está el show. Lo que debe de tener y no tiene. Sickness. Eso es nasty. Eso es no nasty. Es guti guti. Ok. Entonces me traigo el púrpura para limpiarle. Ahí no le echaste, ¿verdad? De hecho.
¿Ves?
Ujú.
Que no tengo chance por el chofer.
Lo quito.
¿No? No se siente casi ya nada. Sí, va.
Pásame la pintura, Chunte. Me preocupa más la cámara que el carro. Ya. Quiere que baile con él. All right, my friends. So it was a bit of a pain removing this hose connector that goes from the water pump from the old one to this one, but we figured out how to do it. Now I'm gonna add the gasket maker. I'm gonna add the gasket maker around here, put the gasket, and then install it. Con esta canción me levanté pensando. No sé por qué. No sé. Lo otro aquí, ¿no?
Tengo que ver la nueva, ¿no?
Ey, cómo no.
Nada que ver con...
Dale un ajuste ahí bien. De arribita. En medio. Muy very nice. pompa nueva, termostat nuevo, bandas nuevas, pompa de la gasolina nueva, rallador, mangueras, cambio de aceite, bujías, carburetor, un tune-up y fuga por el 10.
Como el más rojo de la ciudad.
Primero va el termostato, ¿no? Y luego por encima meto el... ¿Así? Ahí se detiene solo. Pásame el housing. A ver, déjame ver. Para mostrarles cómo estaba el antes y el después.
Hay luz.
Poquito. Brother, Rocéalo, Chonte. No lo toques, no lo toques. ¿Puedo dejar que se seque? Este ya está seco.
¿Sí?
Pues,
Está pegajoso.
está pegajoso. En 5 minutos. Ey. Vamos a ver. Let's see what we've done so far. We got the motor cleaned up. Or at least we tried our best to clean it up with the power purple. As you guys can see, we still haven't done an oil change, so that filter is the original one that came with the car when we bought it. But we definitely have the water pump in there. We have the thermostat and the thermostat housing in there. All it was for the pump was 3 screws. So we have one right here, and one down here. For the thermostat housing, we had this one. They were all 1/2 inch. And if you loosen this one up, that'll let you get the housing off, so you don't have to remove the entire brackets that are holding the air compressor. So it's pretty simple. You know, we had to remove the radiator, so that gave us room, and it made everything easier. Since we're swapping it out, it gave us access to get everything off, so that's a good thing. Right now my dad is just painting some of the pulleys that we're gonna put back just to make it look nice, and once those dry up, we're gonna assemble the parts, get the radiator in. I think I have some antifreeze somewhere in here in the shop. If I don't, I'm not gonna put water, so I'll just hold on to that. Car's not gonna start right now anyways. We'll hook the battery back up and wait for my dad's friend to bring take out the carburetor so he can rebuild it. And next Friday on August 23rd, we are gonna receive the fuel pump so we can install that and fire it up. So we're about 2 or 3 weeks out on this project. All right, my friends, I have some bad news and I have some good news. We got everything back in the car, as you guys saw in the last clip, except for one part. The new radiator that I bought, which is already back where it was earlier, didn't fit. The bottom was just too thick, and because the motor's gonna vibrate a little bit, we had less than 1/4 of an inch of a gap between the radiator and the fan. So we didn't feel comfortable putting it in there. That's the bad news. The good news is that the old one that's sitting right here next to me, we filled it up with water and we saw where it was leaking from. So I'm going to take it to get a repair. That is technically the original radiator. And since it doesn't seem like it's a bad thing to fix, it looks very simple, I'm going to take it to get it fixed. And that's going to be the end of today's work for the Maverick. I did mention to you guys that I'm waiting for one more part on the fuel tank. That is the vapor separator, and that's coming in Tuesday. Next Friday is when I'm getting the fuel pump. So most likely the following weekend, I'll be flushing out the lines, all the fuel lines, replacing it with the new fuel lines. Well, okay, let me just take that back. Next week, I'll be replacing... Sorry, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. The fuel lines that are in there are the metal ones, so I'm going to flush those out. Once I install the tank, I'm going to get the plastic or rubber fuel lines. I'm going to put that I'm going to put the fuel filter just to kind of filter all the nasty stuff that's still left over in the tank. Swap that one out for the metal one once I'm comfortable with that. And by then, the carburetor should be already taken out and be getting worked on. So if we get the carburetor by next weekend, the tank installed, hopefully the radiator fixed, the car should be good to go. The only thing that I need to do besides all these things is obviously do like a regular tune-up. I did change the spark plugs. I have not changed the motor oil or the filter for the motor oil, and that's basically it at this point. I do know that when we turned on the car, after shutting off the engine would shake a lot. So potentially we have to change the transmission mount or some of the motor mounts. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know that the car is going to run here hopefully no later than 2 more weeks. Meanwhile, I'm going to be looking for the rear tires. So once the tank gets installed, we can lower it and be able to hopefully drive it up and down. I also know that the shifting column is a little shaky. I am going to switch it to putting that on the floor. I don't know when that's going to happen, but at least it needs to be in the right place or tightened up so that I can shift comfortably and go from there. If you guys enjoy how this is coming along, please let me know. Let me know if you guys have one that you're working on and you want to bring it back alive. These cars are a lot of fun. A lot of people have given me compliments on this car, so I'm grateful for that. And I am excited to get this car on the road. Once it's up and running, I'm going to take the seats out, get them upholstered, and then start the painting process. It's going to be all white, in case you guys were wondering. And that's it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We need to hit 10,000 as soon as possible. And like I said, do not forget to comment. Peace. One last thing real quick. I forgot to mention that it is already 12 o'clock. I got here at 8 and I've been doing nothing but working on the car. So since I fast and I don't start eating till 11 a.m., I'm already an hour past due. It is getting hot out there. Even though I had the canopy and the swamp cooler going, I can feel the heat on the back of my neck. So we decided to stop. I do want to set up that 4-color process job today, but because I need to eat and it's getting just too hot out there, I'm gonna call it a day. We're gonna come back on Monday, set that up, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. We'll do a screen printing video on Monday and go from there. But other than that, deuces.